Hello and welcome everyone. This is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan coming to you about 1 minute late, 6:01 p.m. Pacific time, Friday. At least that's where I'm at. Some of you guys might be Saturday morning or whatevs, but this is the time we get together and talk about any and all things vegan. So thanks for everyone coming spending your Friday night or Saturday morning with me, and everyone watching after the fact on the replay. Hello and welcome, and come hang out with us. We get together, like I say, every week at this time, and we talk about any and all things vegan. So if you're vegan, this is a great place to come chill and learn, or just find a nice, friendly little community that we've been growing over the years. Also, if you're not vegan, fine. We're not jerks. We're not like bigots or anything. So you can come and hang with us if you want to ask some questions, get some advice, just curious how it works. We'll answer. Now, as long as you're cool and chill, we'll talk to you. And if you're not vegan and you don't want to be cool and chill, and you didn't come here to learn or ask questions other than questions that are dumb, like, what about plants? They're sentient too, or whatever. If you're one of those persons, you really think you're you know better than us dumb vegans, we're stupid and veganism is flawed, just come and tell us your strongest argument, present your best evidence against veganism, and we will have a listen to you. So anyway, hello everyone, thanks for joining in. I'm having a strange day. I did not go to the gym today, and that was planned. I knew that as far as back last week on Tuesday I wouldn't be going to the gym today, because I tell you, my old AirPods died on me and Apple wouldn't replace them. It was died from a known defect too, but the defect manifested itself too late outside of the window, and they wouldn't do anything. So anyway, I didn't want to buy a replacement set because I knew they were coming out new ones. So they announced them last Tuesday, and they said they'd be out Friday. So I made a point Friday. I ordered them last week, and I instead of having them sent to me and having to wait around all day for whoever's going to deliver, I just went to the Apple store and just picked them up there. It's the first time I've ever done that. First time I've ever went on day one. It's crazy. I thought I was gonna have to wait forever because there's huge lines inside the mall there, and I'm going, crap, I just want to pick up my AirPods. Am I going to be here all day? Everyone's getting their freaking brand new iPhones. But anyway, once I said AirPods, they let me right in. I was in and out of the store in less than 5 minutes. It was cool. I got to touch that new iPhone Air, which I'm curious about because I'm really partial to lightweight phones. I'm working off right now an iPhone 13 mini, because it's their last small phone, and I'm trying to determine what I like most about small phones. Is it really the small dimensions or the lightweight? Kind of like both, but I think the weight is more of a factor. I don't like how heavy phones make my pants feel like they're sagging off or anything like that. So anyway, I touched the Air today. It barely weighed any more than my 13 mini. I put it in my pocket. Don't worry, they're chained to the desk. You can't steal it. Yeah, it feels fine here. So maybe I'll upgrade to that sometime in the future. But anyway, enough of me talking about tech and stuff like that. This ain't a tech podcast, but I think we all can relate. We all have to deal with stuff like that. So yeah, finally, all day I've been here upgrading my OSs, updating firmware to get them to work right. I finally got them to work properly, but just right before the live stream, so I'll test them out even more later. So I've had a really weird day today. So anyway, welcome everyone. So good to see y'all. Good to see you, Bill. I'm glad you're here. Dimitri has a question. I'm going to say hi to AJ and Late Model and Peter and everyone and Nikki. You have a question, Dimitri? You said, Ryan, I began my plant-based diet focused on health. I want to develop the moral/ethical aspect that is true to veganism. Can you help, especially as a loss or love from Canada? Sure, absolutely. What sorts of questions do you have about that? I mean, it sounds like you've already done it. It's not like there's not like a degree you have to get or something like that in moral vegan ethics or morals or anything like that. I mean, if you came for health, awesome. I'm not here to knock you or anything like that. But yeah, if you realize, I came for health, but now I'm fully aware of how, animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong because I can't use my iPad today. I tell you, I upgraded all my stuff today to get the AirPods to pair with them right. And the app I use on here to switch between all my different screens, I just found this out 2 minutes before going live. It doesn't work. So I have to hit these buttons manually. What was I going to show there a second? Crap, I was probably just going to show the definition of veganism. We don't have to do that. But my point was, Yeah, just if you figure out that animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong, it sounds like you're already vegan, Dimitri. Let's see, any thoughts on free will versus compatibilism versus determinism? Well, that's way beyond vegan ethics or anything like that. You're just talking about, I think, just more philosophical, but just the whole topic of free will is a highly contested idea in philosophy. So if you want to ask me questions about vegan ethics and morality, I'll do that, but I don't want to turn this into a philosophy live stream. I mean, everyone's going to leave, you know? You guys aren't expecting stuff like that. Or else if you don't leave, I will put you guys to sleep. Speaking of which, I'm pretty sleepy today, even though I didn't go to the gym. I just had bad sleep again. Not necessarily because I'm vegan. Vegans can't sleep well, but like yesterday morning, like at around 6 a.m., I since fixed this on my phone. I got one of those, you just get those emergency alerts. They're called Amber Alerts in some parts of the world, and it always happens here. If you live in a big city like I do with 200,000 plus people, odds are someone's going to go missing or something like that, you know? So I get these dumb alerts and I'm not out. I'm in bed. I'm not going to find anyone. So anyway, I couldn't go back to sleep after that. So I turned it off, and I realized how many times these Amber Alerts have just been useless and freak us all. It goes off on all our devices. So anyway, that ruined my sleep yesterday. Today, got a little bit better sleep, no Amber Alerts, but still kind of tired. So anyway, what was my point I was going to ask, though? Peter, it's too late to cancel our Disney parks or, subscription or anything like that. I mean, it's something we already pretty much paid for. It's good until like August of 2026. So, there's other things we can do, not like buy merchandise and stuff like that. But anyway, Stuart, you can't think of a single argument against veganism? Well, there's many arguments that are against veganism. Are they valid arguments? Are the premises true in their arguments? So there's plenty of arguments, but I agree with, they don't really hold any water when you get down and look at them. Let's see, late model, your super OG iPad used for music just died. It was ancient. Well, if it's super OG, I had one that came out right when they came out, 2010. I was all enamored by the concept, and that thing died maybe after like 6-7 years. So if it's from that era, you got a nice run with it. But get a new one. They're still pretty inexpensive. I personally like I have a mini guy. I like the iPhone Mini 13, and I like the iPad Mini. It's just such a perfect size. I mean, if I were doing more like work on it, like design and programming or whatever, get a bigger one. Get an iPad Pro or Air. This is great for me. I like having small stuff. I mean, this fits in some of my pockets actually. I have some like skater pants where that fits in the pocket just fine. But iPads, they're seriously powerful now. Yeah, I have an old iPod here too. Let me see if I got it here. Oh, I have a sort of a white one from those old white ones. Then I got this one too, the one of the first ones where has a little video screen on it and stuff like that. But yeah, they're cool for like rocking your MP3s and stuff like that, not needing to be connected to the internet for streaming and stuff like that. And they have pretty good sound quality too. Good audio to digital converters. AJ, you have an ancient one too from pre-2019. Isn't that weird how that's like old in technology terms? Oh, thanks so much, AJ, for the new tech fund. Yeah, I had to cough out some money for these. I know if I waited till like Black Friday or the holidays, they'd probably be like $50 less, but I needed them like last month, so I had to wait, with like defective AirPods for the past month. So now I got some, and I tried. They did work. I could play music. I could hear the quality's nice, the noise canceling's nice, but I couldn't have it do the more advanced functions that I really wanted it to do. So anyway, hopefully this will last a long time. It's weird. I didn't know I was going to become so dependent on them, but being a music producer, I do a lot of music work, and my ears, they're old. They get beat up. So I need to wear these when I go out because, there's loud people, there's loud trucks and helicopters and motorcycles and what have you. And this really helps out a lot, just keeping the sound levels on my ear down when I'm out for a long time. Peter, well, I hope it never gets that bad. I mean, free speech is one thing. Locking up your enemies, that would push it to a whole new level. And I don't think it's going to get anything like that. But Nikki points out, we really don't know. I'm just speculating. It's funny that we're talking about this in our country. Like, could like the leader like imprison enemies, like they do in like third world countries that have dictators, or China does that, So anyway, let's see. Where was the guy asking questions? There you are, Dimitri. Okay. Let's see, Dimitri, you feel like you agree with veganism on a logical side, just not emotionally. In other words, I think that harming and exploiting animals is horrendous using rationalism, yet I feel like the lack of first-hand experience one would gain with an emotional connection with a living being. I'm not sure what you're saying. I mean, are you against let's just keep it simple. It's not even delve into deep philosophical waters. Let me just go back and show, let's see, since I can't use my iPad right now, let's just have a look here. I didn't even need to do that. Let's see, just basically, are you against animal cruelty and exploitation? That's it. If you're against animal cruelty and exploitation, and just take one extra action, meaning putting practices into your life so you don't consume products of animal cruelty and exploitation. That's it. If you agree with animal cruelty and exploitation, you're vegan. You don't need to see the cruelty and exploitation firsthand. You don't have to have an emotional reaction to it. I mean, you should if you see or encounter animal cruelty and exploitation instances, but you don't have to, as long as you agree. Yeah, animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong, and I choose not to purchase or consume products that come from animal cruelty and exploitation. That's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. It sounds like you're vegan. I don't know how that's it sounds like you're trying to make it more complicated than it really is. I mean, veganism's so easy. I mean, it's a concept that children understand. They don't need to have higher education, let alone have ever studied philosophy or ethics or anything like that. It's so simple. If you see animals, how do you feel about them? Do you think they're animals that are worthy of having some kind of rights due to their sentience or agency, meaning we just can't willy-nilly start killing them or just use them as products for our purposes? If so, if you're against that, then you're against being cruel to them, being them and exploiting them. It's pretty it's pretty basic stuff there. I don't know if I want to call it philosophy or not, but it's just pretty basic thinking or what have you. Anyway, okay, you find it hard to resonate with that emotionally, Dimitri. I say you don't have to resonate with something emotionally. It's just a belief. Do you agree, yes or no, that animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong? That's it. It's a belief. You don't notice how belief doesn't mean emotion. It's just belief. Yes. Do you believe that proposition to be true? Animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong. If you believe that, if you believe that to be true, you assent to that belief being true, you agree with what veganism's about, and then just don't consume animal products. You don't have to have feelings about it. I mean, you can if you want. It's totally cool to have feelings about it. I'm saying feelings are not necessary to be vegan. You can be a complete sociopath, but I thought sociopaths don't have feelings like regular non-sociopaths do. My point is, you can be without feeling and still find that you agree that animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong. Let's see. Hey, VLAM, what'd you say? Dimitri, to me, the best advice I've gained from Ryan is to stop seeing animals as food/entertainment/products. Once my mindset changed, veganism is in my blood. I live it without thinking. Thanks so much, VLAM. Yeah, it's just a really easy, kind of simple mind shift. Once you see animals as not products, what did you say? Food or entertainment. Yeah, things that for us to exploit for our benefits, and once you see animals as not being that's it. It's super, super easy. And of course, we all had to deal with this Jimmy Kimmel thing. I remember on the my premiere for my video strangely about another conservative dude, Matt Walsh. I released that on Wednesday, and that's when Peter let me know it just happened. And I thought, I didn't see what happened. After doing the fact finding after that, I don't understand the reason for the firing other than it was political. I thought at first, like, maybe Jimmy said something kind of like mean or cruel about what's his name, Charlie Kirk. And from what I understand, like after Charlie Kirk was passed. What's I going to say? Oh, I'm getting a text right now from a buddy. Anyway, I understand Kimmel expressed that it was wrong and gave emotional support and condolences to the family, which is the right thing to do. So I go, okay, he said the right stuff there. So he got in trouble for saying something about the belief that MAGA thought that the shooter was probably something unlike them, like maybe things that they're against, like I'm immigrant or trans or something like that. And it turned out he came from an upbringing much like their own. He said something like that, and that was what got him in trouble. Like, what the fuck? I mean, how is that something to get you fired or suspended? I could see if he said something insensitive about, the victim or his family. Yeah, that's not appropriate, but making a comment like that, I don't see how that would get you suspended from high school, let alone suspended from a TV show. Then I found out, as you guys are pointing out, the chairman of FCC is I'm not making this political. I'm just recalling the facts that as I have learned them. If I got them wrong, call me out, let me know. But yeah, FCC commissioner is basically a Trump buddy, and the channel, the company Next Track, I never even heard of them. They're the ones that originally pulled the Jimmy Kimmel show, and I found out they donate huge to Trump. They're buddies with him. They were looking for a way. Trump said this like years ago that he wanted to get Jimmy Kimmel off the air, and he found a way. I mean, again, Jimmy just said something about the relationship to MAGA and their attitude towards what they thought the shooter was. It didn't insult the family, didn't even insult MAGA, really. And even if they did, that's not a fireable offense. So anyway, I just don't understand it, other than this is fully political. Again, if something was said that was inappropriate, you should be held accountable for sure. If you said something cruel and insensitive, I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on, you should be held accountable for your words. And I just did not seeing that. So this is, the first big attack on the right to exist in expressing your opinion to the masses that the leader disagrees with. So, yeah. And then think about it, guys. I don't care which side of the political spectrum you're on. Just think about it. This guy is going after late night television comedians. He wanted Colbert gone, got him. And then Jimmy Kimmel, he's been bitching about Kimmel for years, got him. Then he said, I'm coming after Seth Meyers and Jimmy Fallon next. Like, what? Think about it. This is the president of our country. It's a venerated, honorable, should be position. And
thanks for the tip.
Saying you're gonna remove comedians who say things about you that you don't like. This is democracy. This is, again, using your political power to get rid of people, not kill them necessarily, but just remove them from their platforms through your influences, FCC, TV channels. Anyway, that's my political thing there. Again, I'm not trying to make this political. I'm just telling you the facts as I see them. I'm not registered with any party. I'm just a person that uses their critical thinking skills and fact-finding skills to try to see what the hell's going on. Jordan, how's it going, Vegan Jordan? Woohoo, good to see you. Go vegan, everyone. I was just thinking about you, Jordan, because who was I just talking to there? Was it Dimitri? He was getting kind of deep and philosophical about veganism, which is totally fine. But my point to him was that even you're a lot older now than when you first started coming to our live stream here, Jordan. What was that? Maybe 4 or 5 years ago? You were like, what, 11 or 13 or something like that? Anyway, I was saying even young people, pre-teenage age people can understand what veganism is. It's a very simple idea. It doesn't need to get really, really complicated or deeply philosophical.
Thanks for the tip.
But yeah, thanks so much, Vegan Jordan. Good to see you. It's been a while. I'm glad when you can come. Hey, Hippie Easta. Again, thank you too for your super chat tip. Your son has a master's in philosophy, is now full-time faculty at your community college in their prison program. Wow. Well, good, awesome on finding the job, especially with a master's degree. I know that's tougher. Often, for teaching, they're looking for PhDs, or at least people in a master's working towards a PhD. So that's awesome. Got a job. That's one reason why I quit philosophy. I realized, yeah, my jobs would be tied to universities or schools, and I might not have the choice to, like, I'd probably just have to go and move to wherever there was an opening at, if there was an opening, like, say, like, no offense if you live anywhere near, like, say, the Ozarks, like University of the Ozarks, I'm just inventing that, I would have to move to the Ozarks, and I'm not going to do that, so I wanted to have a little bit more control on my where I live at, my destiny and stuff like that. So that's one reason why I got out of academia. I could see if I came from a super prestigious institution, I might be able to call my shots a little bit more, but I would have been coming out of a University of California, but not one of the elite ones. I wouldn't have been coming out of like Berkeley or UCLA, so it would have been a lot tougher. So you're 17 now. Awesome, Jordan. Man, you're ready to vote. you're an adult for the most part. Awesome. But back to veganism here. VLAM, you think the problem with, as a society, we are so accustomed to exploiting animals for our selfish gains that we can't help but associate animal exploitation with pleasure and utility. I'm going to make a video, I think, next week. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm not going to do a response video, I don't think. Oh, thanks for another super chat tip there, guys. Thanks so much. Yeah, it's been an expensive time for us, so thank you so much. Just stop by to say hi. I love you, right, Angie? We love you too, Jordan, and it's always a pleasure to see you come and chill with us. I think next week I'm going to do a video. Remember my video from 2 days ago about Matt Walsh? I ended it kind of rhetorically asking, like, why does everyone hate us for? Why do all these people make videos about hating us? They hate us. They hate vegan food. They hate vegan people. What's up with this? Why hate us? Why are people bigoted and hateful towards vegans? I'm going to do a video about that. I've found some research that shows reasons why. There's some science that shows what's going on, why people are hating me and you. Hopefully they're not hating you. Hopefully you guys have a much lower profile, and when you encounter people in your real life and they learn you're vegan, hopefully they're not being jerks to your face. Maybe they're being jerks behind your back or something like that. At least you don't have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna make a video about that. I'm pretty sure. Unless something else juicier comes up. Let's see. I know, Jordan's grown up so fast, huh, AJ? Okay, Peter sent me another video of another person who's no longer vegan. I'll check that too. I could maybe just put that one on hold. The thing about no longer vegan videos, unless the person's like well known, either a celebrity or someone known on like social media, you can let those wait a little bit. It's probably been out a while, right? So I'll check it out. But I think I want to do a video that kind of goes into a little deep dive on the science as to why people hate us. Not because of something I ever said, just for being vegan, a bigoted kind of dislike or hate. All true, late model. Militant vegans give the rest of us a bad name, but a lot of people hate us regardless of or whether or not they've ever even encountered militant vegans. Like, I'm sure Matt Walsh doesn't really encounter vegans in his daily or regular life, let alone the odd militant vegan type. It seems like he just hates vegans no matter how cool and chill and honest you are, or how much, or whether you're a complete a-hole level 5,000 vegan. We're all the same. He hates us no matter what. But yeah, I agree with you, though, late model. The militant vegans don't help our cause that much as far as people disliking us so much. Doesn't help, but I don't think that's the root of the problem. I think that's just a smaller thing going on. Let's see, what's going on, Dimitri, in your philosophical ponderings here? You always figured if you lack the emotional connection towards not wanting harm/exploitation towards animals, that you're more plant-based. But maybe I'm thinking too much. So thank you for answering your question. Sorry, take no. Again, let's just one more time, just quickly look at the definition of veganism. It's super simple. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. So ask yourself, are you against animal cruelty and exploitation? If the answer is yes, and it doesn't matter what the reasons are and whether emotion is involved in reaching that decision or not. If you answer yes, and you also don't consume animal products because of that answering yes, that's it. Those are the sufficient reasons for being vegan. So it's not necessary. You could have a part of your brain damage where you can't produce normal emotions or be born a sociopath, and you could still be a vegan. It's helpful to have emotions. I'm not denying emotions are usually kind of helpful in life, but yeah, they're not necessary for having a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. You can arrive at that through an intellectual reasoning rather than an emotional reaction to, say, having seen slaughterhouse footage and that made you want to go vegan. You could arrive to the conclusion that animal cruelty and exploitation run through purely intellectual or logical reasons. Let's see. Late Model says, non-vegans tell me that this is why they hate vegans. Let's see. Why is it they hate vegans? I see ... Let's see, Heidi. Oh, you're having pupusas with vegan cheese sauce. Awesome. Wow, where'd you get that at? That's something that you don't see all the time. Late Model says she traded in the news for the steam room. It's working out great. I'm kind of with you on that too. I've customized my news feeds to give me the most minimal exposure to stuff that's just like total shit and crap and stuff. So I'm learning a lot about other things right now besides like current events. Not to say I'm keeping my head in the sand, but I just don't need to be seeing that shit all day long. I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way. Pardon all my bad language here. Hey, Fomar Music, it's okay to be self-dominant. Selfless dominant is opposite. What's that? Let's see, VLAN, where are the anti-vegans finding all those militant vegans? No, I don't. That's not my point. I don't think there's enough militant vegans to get out there and piss off the whole world. The whole world's already pissed off at us just having a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation alone. That is enough that's sufficient for so many people pissed off at us. So I think that's going to be my next video to show what's going on with that. Dimitri, I didn't think you were a sociopath. I'm just saying one could be. I was just using the sociopath as an example. But thanks, Ryan. I have your vegan cult member shirt. Cool, awesome. And you quite enjoy it. Awesome. Yeah, I wore this to the Apple store today. I hate going to malls, guys. I really hate going to malls. I don't like going shopping, and just unfortunate. The closest Apple store to me is in an indoor mall. Horrible. I don't understand. It's like Friday, like at 12:45 in the afternoon. The parking lot's full. Not necessarily for Apple. Just everyone. Just like, what are people doing? How come everyone's at the mall on a Friday? Anyway, and I was going to ask you guys how to get rid of it, but finally it went away. The closest parking I could find at the mall was not by an entrance into the mall. I had to park by Nordstrom's and enter in through Nordstrom's. I don't remember the last time I've been to a Nordstrom's, maybe to use a bathroom or something maybe. But anyway, walked right in. It's the perfume department. It was insane. Just as soon as I opened the door, it's like, oh man, like overwhelming of like a cacophony of like dozens of perfume scents. It seemed just like, oh, people are just standing there talking and working. I go, don't they notice this? This is crazy. And we got through it, and I got my Apple business done, and I had to get back through there, and we're driving home. It's like, we had to walk through the Nordstrom's thing again. It's like, it's still in my nostrils. We're like on the freeway heading home. Like, what the hell? How do you get rid of it? Angie said she had some stuff she was going to smell when we got home, but I think by the time we got home, like a half hour later, it was gone. But that was gnarly. They tried to hand us some card or paper or flyer. I said, no, I don't want that. That thing's going to smell like crap and snake up my car. No way. Patrick, hey Patrick, can you buy the vegan cult shirts? I believe we still have them on our shop here. Let me go there with you. Let's see. The Happy Healthy Vegan merch store. Well, the wrong one. Let's see. Where is it? This one. Come on, website. Oh, it's not working right now. Whoa, there it goes. Yeah, here's the Vegan Cult Member shirts. I'll give you a link to it right now. The Vegan Cult Member shirt still exists. Oh, there's different colors too. Anyway, I'll post a link to the top level of the site. You could scroll and find the exact color and style you want. So let me paste that into the chat right now. If you want to get a vegan cult member, proudly show the world our shirts, our message of being a vegan cult member. It gets some interesting looks sometimes. I tell you, sometimes I don't realize I have it on. I go places and notice people kind of tripping on me, and I realize, oh, they're tripping on the shirt. They're not like mad or anything. They just look kind of confused. They're probably thinking, what? Veganism really is a cult? This guy's admitting it? It's kind of cool. But anyway, check it out. Hey, Graven's here. Awesome. Good to see you, Graven. Blood Rose, you don't know any vegans? Oh, I'm so sorry. That's why groups like this are so important. It can feel very isolating sometimes. I thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry to hear that you don't know any vegans in real life, but I'm very happy and proud and grateful that we have this community for us all, whether we know lots of vegans in real life around us or not. It's a great place just to hang out with other like-minded vegans. We get trolls once in a bit, that are definitely not vegan, but they're not coming. No matter how I tweak the title, they're just not coming, or YouTube is not suggesting us to them. I think it's probably more of the latter, because how could a troll resist some of my great video titles to come and convince me to stop being vegan? It sounds like any troll would say, yes, I will convince this feeble-minded, deficient vegan into his veganness. Hey, Uncle, have you been here, Uncle? Let's see. Well, welcome, Uncle. I don't think I've seen you tonight, but I'm glad you're here. I've been rambling so much, I didn't even notice your absence tonight. I guess because it's been so chill as far as like not having any trolls or anything like that. Okay, the shirt is a good way to meet other vegans. I imagine, yeah, if you're walking past another vegan, yeah, that'll probably get a conversation going. Yeah, Bill, yeah, it can be a vegan cult member, yeah, but other cults not as beneficial for humanity. Let's see, AJ, the only real life vegan you met in your small rural town of 3,000. Wow, that's pretty amazing that in a small town like that, you found another vegan. So that's 1 out of 1,500 people in your small town are vegan. Not quite the 1 or 2% of humanity kind of thing, but it's a good start. There's probably another 1 or 2. You just haven't met him or her yet. Let's see. But yeah, the perfume scent finally left my nose and Angie's, but that was bugging us. I can't imagine how these people, the employees, stand there all day. That's got to be like bad for you, right? I mean, I don't want to be like one of these like Paul Saladino, everything in the world's toxic and trying to kill us kind of people, but that can't be good to be breathing that gnarly crap for like 8 hours a day every day if you're there like full time. But what's that late model? I like perfume when I was younger, but ditched scented anything years ago. That's how we are too, full on. I'm with you. Neutral everything. Yeah, we're like that too. Neutral laundry detergent, neutral soaps, shampoos, all that stuff, full on. Yeah, no, you'd be able to hang here in our house too. Yeah, we get offended when like our neighbor, I don't know what the hell she does for her laundry or her drying of her laundry. And the wind the natural airflow just blows it right into her house. It just smells like a gnarly chemical. I go, if we're smelling that like 100 feet away from her dryer, what do the clothes come out smelling like? And you got to put that on your body and inhale that. That can't be good for you. Late model, I want to say something that's going to potentially make me look stupid. But I remembered the other day, like, I haven't been to my P.O. box in quite a while. And I kind of remembered, holy shit, I remember around my birthday, you said I should check the P.O. box. I checked it on a few days ago. And thank you for the birthday card. It was really kind of you. And I know it's a few months later. My birthday was, July 31st, but thanks so much for sending me that kind birthday card, late model. I'm stupid. I'm just so scatterbrained. There's just so much going on, so many things I'm balancing and, fixing broken things all the time. I just kind of forget to go to the P.O. box sometimes. Anyway, yeah, Pat, how do the people not get either brain damage or something's got to go wrong if you're sitting there breathing in gnarly perfume? I tell you, I'm just walking through the store, and unfortunately I had a mask on me, like an N95 mask. I put it on to get through the perfume counter. Even when we got like 20, 30 feet past it, you could still smell it, It's gnarly. It was so insane. People should not have to work in that. Let's see, Uncle said you heard from another YouTuber that her videos weren't getting notification or posted. She was missing about a third of her subscribers. Yeah, YouTube's like that, you know? Anyway, Dimitri, how am I new here? How much can I ask you about indie music and philosophy? I asked about veganism, but there are many topics you wonder about. Shoot a question or two, Dimitri. I'll see what I feel comfortable talking about with that. But you know, I'm a music producer. I don't really listen to a lot of quote unquote say indie music, even though we are like an indie music band. But yeah, ask some questions. I promise you guys, I'll not try to bore. I don't want to bore you guys with getting too much off topic. But we do talk about non-vegan things for sure, Dimitri. So feel free. So, Uncle, if you smelt it long enough, the scent will go away to make room for other aromas. Yeah, I know you get desensitized, you get acclimated to scents. I imagine a lot of the people barely even notice the smells. But man, it was gnarly. Angie and I both, we opened the door and went, whoa, you know, it's like it was just overwhelming. In fact, I don't think I'm over exaggerating. I felt like my eyes were like sore, like they wanted to tear, like I just felt like a sting. I felt like a slight stinging sensation walking through this invisible cloud of perfume. It was gnar. Graven, you can't relate at all. You love chemicals. I guess you like perfumes and stuff like that. I'm not knocking it. I just telling me. I just saying my and Angie's reaction. It was like we were not feeling it. I mean, not just like on an emotional level, just like on a physical level. Like, ooh, this doesn't feel good. Let's see, Nikki, you wash your clothes with Dr. Bonner's almond soap and use cloth laundry balls in the dryer. I'm not sure what we use. We use stuff that doesn't have a scent because Angie might even be more sensitive to smells than I am. We're both pretty up there. So yeah, we make sure that we don't try to have chemicals, putting chemical scents on us. You know, we try to keep that down to a minimum. Oh, Graven, yeah. People who smoke a lot, yeah, they might not realize, but yeah, you can just walk past, like, they don't have to be smoking. You just walk past their shirt or their jacket. It could be really gnarly too. One of the weirdest smells though is I don't go to bars anymore, but sometimes when I'm walking around the city here, I go past a certain bar. I'm not going to dox myself and say which one, but you walk past the door of the bar. It's open in the daytime. People are still, you know, they're getting drunk at noon, or at least having a beer at noon. I don't know. I'm walking to coffee or something like that. It's just the smell of like 50 years of alcohol and cigarettes that have absorbed into the fabrics of everything in the bar. It's leaching its way out the doors. And just walk past, I go, wow, that is pretty hardcore. I'm glad I'm not hanging out in there. Not say all bars smell like that, but this one certainly does. Dimitri wants to know about philosophy. Do I enjoy continental or analytical philosophy more? Well, having grown up in the United States and studied philosophy in United States universities, yeah, you're not going to really get much of any continental philosophy. I was blessed that I studied as much continental philosophy as I did, you know, stuff like, say, Heidegger, Sartre, Nietzsche, stuff like that. Most people will go through their philosophy education and really never even read a single word from any of those people. Kierkegaard, but yeah, the vast majority of my philosophical education was analytical philosophy, which is the kind of philosophy that is practiced in, like, you know, mainly the English speaking worlds, but not necessarily, you know, but yeah, but yeah, you don't find too many guys that graduate in the United States that were like big continental philosophers. But yeah, I like it all. I'm more of an analytical philosopher type because that's what I was drilled into my head all those years. Oh, Carl, yeah, exercise. Yeah, my basketball clothes, my running clothes are how you described there, Carl. You struggle with getting your clothes clean. Trail running is really hard on running clothes. Yeah, just exercise is really hard on exercise clothes. So yeah, it has nothing to do particularly with running, just sweating from exercise. Okay, late model has a great idea. You need an enzyme sports cleaner. Huh, maybe I need an enzyme sports cleaner too. Huh, I'll look into that. Oh, Holly. Hey, Holly. I don't remember you, Holly. So welcome to our live stream. Oh, that cigarette beer smell. You know what I'm talking about? That bars emanate. At least some bars do. I have a memory of the Town Lounge in Chico, California, and that's the smell. You know what I'm talking about. It's some kind of mixture of beer and cigarettes, and it's not like an overnight smell. It's something that takes decades to accumulate, and then it just like permanently baked into the fabrics of the chairs and seats and everything in the bar, and just kind of emanates outward. It's a trippy smell. I actually prefer that over the gnarly perfume that we smelled today running through the Nordstroms to get to the Apple store. That was gnarly. I think that could make you ill, potentially make you sick. I don't think the gnarly bar smell would make you ill. Just kind of trippy. Nikki, you do wear a full face of vegan makeup daily? Yeah, Angie's, that's all she wears too, of course. Yeah, just vegan makeup, and she doesn't have to wear a whole bunch to make herself look great. Okay, awesome. Late model, after the stream, you'll email me the sport detergent Bestie uses. Yeah, let me see what you got there, because even if I just use it on my sports clothes, that would be cool. I wonder if it's too late though. I wonder if the heat's so like, burnt into the clothes, soaked in after decades, of having these things. I wonder if I can get it out, but I'll give it a shot. If not, I'll just start with that and move forward with a better solution for washing my exercise clothes. Let's see, hippieista. At me, Ryan, funny. Here in Texas, they went Bible and everything, in-state education. I thought that would be tough for your son, but he said he has Paul in his studies. He studies Paul in school, like Bible Paul. Interesting, huh? I'm not sure that fits in with a traditional curriculum, but in a public school setting too. It's kind of weird. I don't want to get getting political, but I mean, whose religion? There's many religions. Like, how about the Mormons that live in Texas? Are they getting dissed? They're not going to learn about Joseph Smith and, the story of the Book of Mormon. The Buddhists aren't going to get served their Buddhist knowledge, and Hindus. It's kind of odd to choose one religion. And how about Catholics? Are they just teaching Protestants? I'm saying it's a huge problem. Just leave religion to for when you're doing your religion thing, so you get the right one. Like, what good would it be for, like, say, a Buddhist, learning about Paul? I'm not saying that's bad, but it's not a great use of my time and thinking powers, unless I want to learn it, because I did in college. I did study in philosophy. When I was studying philosophy as an undergrad, in one of my courses, which most people don't take, and most people graduate in philosophy don't take this class. It was a philosophy of religions of the world. So I learned a little bit of everything, of a whole bunch. Again, that's not typical. Like Buddhism, Shintoism, Confucianism, just to name a few. Maybe it was Asian or Oriental or whatever, Asian philosophy. Maybe that was it. What that class was, because I don't remember learning Native American religion or something like that. Okay, Holly says, Google True Unscented Laundry Detergent. Vegan friendly, cruelty free, independent company, and their laundry detergent is great. Cool. True Unscented. I'm just going to copy that right now and paste it into a browser tab, because I will forget, because my brain is completely full, or I'm dumb. I'm not sure which. Maybe both. Those are not mutually exclusive at all. But thanks for that tip. What about the Church of Cannabis? At first I thought it said Church of Cannibals, Travis. I go, what the hell's that? Church of Cannabis. That sounds like a real thing. I really doubt there's a Church of Cannibals, so that would be crazy. And how about the Temple of Baphomet? All that. It's just more reason. Yeah, again, I'm not against people having their religions or anything like that. Obviously not. Totally fine, But forcing say, a Buddhist to learn about Baphomet or a follower of Baphomet to learn about Shintoism. You know what I'm saying? Unless they want to, unless they're seeking that out because they want to broaden their education and all that. That's cool. But if it's being forced, like why? It's a complete waste. Okay, Graven. Okay, he said you don't wear makeup anymore, but your kids do. Obviously Angie's kind of like that. Like most days, she doesn't really wear makeup because we're not going out. But if we're gonna go out somewhere, like she accompanied me today to the Apple store, and actually before that, we stopped by Ranch 99, the Chinese supermarket, to pick up some specialty things there that you can't get like at most normal regular American type markets. Yeah, she put on a little makeup, not much. She got ready in like 10 minutes. She was ready before I was. Let's see. Dimitri, you can ask these philosophical questions. This one's about Buddhism. About veganism too. I don't think Buddhism has anything or much to do with me being vegan, to be honest with you, because I already had the idea before really learning much about Buddhism. I already had the idea about going vegan anyway. It all happened you probably knew the live stream, but yeah, just when it was like in the early 90s. I just got to look it up. It happened at a Grateful Dead concert in Southern California. I can look exactly when that day was. The Hare Krishnas were there in the parking lot after the show serving up free vegetarian food to anyone who would take it. And I don't remember any dairy or eggs or anything like that. It was vegan. So I was eating the food. I go, wow, this is delicious. I love this stuff. And ever since then, I was like, there were some Hare Krishna restaurants around in the area I was going to frequently. I love their food so much. But anyway, yeah, I was realizing, wow, I can eat this stuff. It's delicious. I feel good on it. And animals don't need to die in order for me to live. That's what put the idea in my head. Who knows? Maybe that kind of idea is what made me go vegan. But, Hare Krishna, it's an Eastern, Indian philosophy. And Buddhism comes out of India. A lot of people think it's Chinese or something like that. No. It came from India, so it's all in Eastern thought. There's a lot of similar concepts. That's why it's distinct and differentiated from Western thinking. So yeah, the idea is there. Buddhism, Hinduism. The idea is there. That's not common. It's not common in a lot of Western religions to about animals, not consuming animals. Carl, is this a joke? The Church of Cannabis is big into recruiting new members for their potluck dinners. Pa-da-pam. Heidi, you also have sensory issues. We don't like the feeling of makeup. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, not that I get. I don't wear makeup or anything like that. I guess I would if I were on TV or something like that. They put that on everyone, But I get it. Yeah, why? I'm sure it must be a pain in the butt to put extra stuff on your face and have it on there when you don't have to. Yeah, Heidi, you're true. Thanks for sharing that about the Hare Krishna too. Yeah, they don't eat eggs, so that's why I saw no eggs. Meat, garlic, or onion, which I'm not. You guys know it's right up my. That's why I like their food so much. No onions or garlic, but you do have to watch. Did I hear some weird shit outside? I thought I heard something. Anyway, yeah, you do have to watch out for dairy, which is true in a lot of Indian type foods. You have to watch out for dairy. I know at their Govinda's restaurant in West LA, Venice, they do market. I haven't been there like a decade, but they used to market like this rice has butter, this one does not, so they make it clear. They know, vegans are, that we want to know this stuff so we can decide which food we're going to eat. Well, AJ, your Hebrew school taught us all the religions when you were a kid. That's awesome to have a basic understanding at a young age of the many religions of the world. That's what I'm talking about. If someone wants to learn all the various religions, just learn about them. You don't have to learn the doctrines and dogma or be forced to believe them, but at least be aware of what they are, these religions are, so we can understand each other. That's what I'm about, us all getting along despite our age, our countries of origin, our religions, our politics, even our diets. Yeah, I'm not the kind of extreme vegan that says, oh, if someone's not a vegan, well, F them, they don't, I'm not that kind of person at all. When I say a non-vegan, I go, oh, well, let's see if I can talk to them about veganism somehow and do it in a cool way instead of thinking, oh, that person's an a-hole. Nancy Travis, I'm not sure if I know all things must pass. Is there? And you're probably not talking about that from George Harrison. I've listened to that a few times. Heidi says veganism is growing amongst Hare Krishna, and they do some bigger events vegan. Awesome. Because they make great vegan food. They don't have to put the butter in the rice. I'm glad they make some without the butter for us. Butter doesn't make food better. Yeah, Scientology probably wasn't a big thing when we were kids, huh, AJ? I don't think I had heard of it. And you're a couple years older than me, too. So, yeah, I'd never heard of Scientology until maybe the 90s or something like that. Yeah, Graven, your skincare nowadays is lotion and sunscreen, basic stuff. Yeah, like today, before I got in the car, I put on a sunscreen moisturizer because I knew I was going to be outside, walking around, driving around. And, yeah. I am not into being all suntanned, and I'm more now concerned at age 58 about protecting myself so, I can live a while longer. Yeah, I agree with you, Blood Rose 75. Learning about other beliefs, especially at a young age, learning about it in a positive, non-judgmental way helps break down fear and prejudice 100%. Yeah, Uncle. Yeah. Scientology started in the 50s, I thought, too. But yeah, it got, it took a while for it to like blow up. I think it really started making a name for it. I probably did hear about it in the 70s. I think I saw a television ad when I was a kid in the 70s or something like that. The Dianetics Volcano TV ad. Have you guys seen that? You guys know I kind of have a vague memory of that. So yeah, I'm sure some of you Gen Xers and Boomers might remember that one. Yeah, okay, yeah, Holly, yeah, you saw it too. Exactly what I'm talking about, exactly. Let's see, Carl, all you use for skincare is aloe when your skin is dry. That's a good thing to have around too for dry skin. And back when I would get more sun exposure, it's one of the best things I found to put on like sunburns or skin that is kind of sensitive due to sun exposure. Heidi, use the Trader Joe's tree face wash and Dr. Bronner's lotion after. We were just at Trader Joe's yesterday because yesterday was National Cheeseburger Day. And at least in our area, right next to Trader Joe's, there's a veggie grill, and they were giving doing a buy one, get one free American cheeseburger special. So yeah, got that, then went to Trader Joe's. I haven't been there in like 2-3 months. So of course I had to get the banana bread. So I didn't have any last night, so I'll probably munch some of that tonight. Hey, Produce Not Pills, it's not about sunscreen. What is it about then? It's about exposure. Yeah, there's a relationship between the two. So cover up as much as possible and be mindful of your exposure. Although you can't, it's hard to cover up your face. I mean, yeah, when I go outside, I cover up my face a bit with a hat, but still having something on your skin that's non-toxic like zinc and offers, like in my case, 30 times the natural protection of what I naturally put out and moisturizes my dry skin living out here in the desert, to me seems like a no-brainer. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with using sunscreen. I mean, I know some people have like fears about it and stuff like that, but there's nothing unsafe about it. I've talked to dermatologists about it. I mean, maybe some of the chemically ones have a higher slightly risk, but I'm putting zinc on. There's nothing like, people say like, have a fear of unnatural things. Zinc, that's natural AF. Pat, I don't think anyone has studied all the religions of the world. I think AJ said I studied the religions of the world. I only said all, just like some of the major ones. That'd be impossible to study every religion in the world. Virtually impossible. You'd have to, and it depends what you define as study. How much time you're going to put into each one. Okay, Travis, thanks to let me know that about the George Harrison album. I'll look that up. Sounds kind of interesting. Okay, AJ, you do remember that Dianetics commercial in your childhood too. Uncle remembers it too. Hippieista, are you still trying to get a Trader Joe's in your area? Yeah, we're lucky we got one not too far from us. And late model goes beyond me as far as like the protection and everything. You wear dorky sun gloves and everything. I agree with you, produce not pills. Yeah, it's a multi-pronged attack, if you will, against UV rays. Yeah, I mean, yeah, cover up, but yeah, sometimes you can't cover up for various reasons. Maybe you're out, like, say, surfing, you know, in a warm area. You're not gonna have a big wetsuit on. Your sleeves and legs will be exposed. Put on some waterproof sunscreen. You might not be able to wear a hat when you're out surfing too. You know, I mean, I see some people do, but it's easy to get your hat knocked off and stuff. I try to wear a hat that has like a little thing that you kind of like pulls around your chin to help keep it in place. And I don't surf. When I used to surf, I wasn't a big fan of super giant waves or anything like that. I was a longboarder. But anyway, yeah, just use whatever you got, you know, everything. Better than nothing. Yeah, Bill, as a skin cancer survivor, say both or all the above. Just go for it, you know. Johnny, hey Johnny, and that's super smart to do too. Run when the UV rays are low, and in that case for you in Florida, when the UV rays are low, when the sun's low, it's a little cooler too, I imagine too, that rather than running out in the hot midday, super humid Florida heat, right? Which we had this week, guys. Seriously, all the weather forecasters are saying, yeah, it feels like Florida out there today. They're saying that like Wednesday and Thursday because we had a tropical storm south of us in Baja California. Usually those just blow out into the ocean, but for some reason the weather dynamics pulled it right into Southern California. It went right up the coast of Central California, Northern California. It was hot, it was humid, it was horrible. It felt like Florida out there. Yeah, thank goodness it didn't bring any alligators with it. Just kidding about the alligators. I know it doesn't work like that. Yeah, but late model is absolutely right. Skin cancer can show up anywhere on your skins. Even if you just protect your face, that's great for your face, but it could show up anywhere. Yeah, Uncle, the South Park episode about Scientology was freaking genius. That was probably in like their top 20 best ones there. Yeah, when they expose the truth that you have to pay, like, you know, members pay like $1 million to learn about Xenu, the alien from another planet who came here in his 50s looking space mobile and left. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, check out that South Park if you have access to it. The one about Scientology is pretty awesome. Holly, any tips on a D3 supplement for night workers or Canadians, or neither, but D is important. What am I using right now? I think I'm just getting it in a multivitamin, but if you're really serious about a really, really good, really good vitamin D, it's a little expensive, but I'll show it to you because I used it before and it seems pretty freaking good. Let me, actually my iPad's not working for this right now. Since I updated it about an hour before the live stream. Oh God, where is it? Right here. Remember these guys, Clean Machine. They still don't have a product yet for the protein. Anyway, this organic certified vegan D3 is really awesome. It's really good. It's like probably one of the best D3s you can get, super high quality ones. So I'll put a link to that in the show chat down there to Clean Machine. So check that out if you don't mind spending a little bit. I mean, it's not that expensive, but you know, it's a super high quality one. So check that out if you want to get a kick-ass vitamin D3. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I haven't worked with them for years. I just still, you know, even now, you know, I'm not working with them. There's no financial incentives. I still highly rate their products as being top notch. Uncle, you're waiting for the next episode of South Park. Oh yeah, next one's going to be insane. Yeah, they delayed this one. I wonder if it had something to do with the Jimmy Kimmel thing, because that all happened the same day, so they might incorporate that into it. We'll see. That could be crazy. And Patrick, you're off the chat going to sell your newspapers for the home is awesome. They need more help than ever now. Awesome. Good for you, Patrick. VLAN, what's this? I didn't hear about this. A U.S. tennis star offended many Chinese people. Oh no, an American did something stupid. Let's see what she said. She called the Chinese hotel food, which included frogs and turtles, crazy. Allegations of racism got thrown around, but no one realized the hypocrisy. So basically, the American tennis star didn't approve of the types of animals that were subjected to cruelty and exploitation. She has her own approved list of animals that it's fine to subject to cruelty and exploitation, but animals not on that list, that's where she draws the line. Yeah, that's a bit of hypocrisy there. It's funny how people don't make the connection, right? It's just so obvious. Like, oh, okay, so anyway, I don't have to explain it to you guys. You guys totally get it. Yeah, blood rose. You have to be careful. Yeah, not all vitamin D is vegan, but the one I just showed you there on the screen, let's take one quick look one more time. This stuff is indeed vegan. Yeah, Johnny, even if you live somewhere like where you do, where, you probably get a decent amount of sun, but that doesn't mean you're going out in the middle of the day and soaking up all the UV light, which has its own perils. Yeah, just take a vitamin D supplement. And that's just kind of like something like most people should do. Like, say you live in a northern latitude, like if you live above, like, say 35 degrees north or south, it's hard to get enough vitamin D from what I've read. So it doesn't matter if you're vegan or not. If you're in Great Britain and it's cloudy and cold all the time, you're probably not getting a lot of natural vitamin D from the sun. Vegan or not, doesn't matter. You can't override weather with a diet. That's not bad. 1 pill weekly for your vitamin D. Awesome. And AJ takes a vitamin D3 and K2, 5,000 IU from algae. Let's see. You've been using the Naturello for years. I haven't heard of that. Is that a multi-late model? Is that a multivitamin, or is that a vitamin D? Let me know. Because my vitamin D levels are, they're always like in the 30s. I've never had them like over 50 or anything like that. That would be amazing. Let's see, Mark used to get a good quality vegan D3 K2 vitamin from Costco. Graven, we finished Dexter. We just finished it a couple nights ago. We started slowly getting into that story. We were talking about, God, I wonder if Dexter's going to kill Bautista. Wow, I wonder if Peter's going to kill Peter Dinklage. It's like, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but that was a really good season. I think that was one of the best seasons since like the first 1, 2, or 3 seasons of the original Dexter from 20 years ago or whatever. I didn't really like the one where he was out in the woods with his son in the snowy forest. That one was I kind of like that reboot they did, the prequel with the younger characters. That was cool. But this one with Michael C. Hall and everyone, the story was awesome. The writing was awesome. This Dexter kicked ass. So yes, watch Dexter if you haven't seen it before. It's an awesome show. I loved it, Graven. I was totally into it. It was a great... Peter Dinklage kicked ass. Michael C. Hall kicked ass. I mean, it was just well cast, well written. Uma Thurman kicked ass. Everyone was just firing on all cylinders. They really got a talented crew this season. They went all out, getting all these super actors on this season. Peter, no, I haven't been to Disneyland since earlier in the week. So no, we went on Monday just because I saw the weather was going to get really hot and humid like it did, like Florida-like. So I said, if we better go Monday. If we go Monday, we're not going to go this week. So I haven't seen anything. I saw on Reddit some people were trying to organize a protest. I think it was for last night at like 7 p.m. outside of Disneyland, not on their property. I think if you're on the property, they can just kick you off, So anyway, oh, it's cold and rainy there, Peter. Oh, I envy you. Johnny, you going to Disney next month? Which one, Disneyland or Walt Disney World? Yeah, someone Google it for us. How old is Michael C. Hall now? Yeah, we watched 6 Feet Under too. That's a pretty cool show too. It was from before Dexter, I believe, right? Yeah, he's a little younger there. So that's another kind of low-key, dark drama. 6 Feet Under. So if you like Dexter and you want a little bit more, you can't wait for another season. And I hope there'll be more because I thought this season was it seemed like a success. So yeah, he's 54. Okay, I thought he's around my age. Dext. Is it wrong for vegans to like Dexter? I mean, it's just a good show. I remember when I first heard about it, I didn't learn about it until maybe it was like maybe 3 or 4 seasons in. But someone who was like an actress slash sort of a friend, but she was an actress, Hollywood actress. She described it as I was talking to her. She described it as a show about a serial killer who kills other serial killers. I go, okay. That is weird, and that's interesting. I totally want to check it out. I'm so glad she told me about it. Oh, you've seen it, huh, Late Model? 6 Feet Under is amazing. Bestie worked on a remix for their title track. Yeah, they had really good music there. That's the first time I heard this really cool Radiohead song. I think it's called Lucky. It is amazing. I go, wow, I was never really a huge Radiohead fan. I mean, they have some good songs. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're bad. I appreciate their experimental mindset and how they're kind of like me. They use like jazzy kind of chord voicings, but they don't make jazz music per se. They just make really melodic kind of stuff. I like a lot of their stuff, but I've just never been a huge fan. But I heard Lucky on there. I go, wow, that song's totally awesome. Anyway, that kind of made me more of a Radiohead fan after that. Hippieista, you're 62. Y'all are too young. No, we have some other boomer viewers there. Hippieista, you're not alone. AJ, you love true crime. Wait, that's a show name, right? It's not a genre. That's a name of a title of a show. Johnny, so as I thought, yeah, you were going to Walt Disney World, which makes way more sense. Yeah, 3 or 4 hours away from you, rather than have to cross the entire country on an airplane. Graven, you like his band too? Who has a band? I missed who you're talking about there. Nikki, you just ordered a vegan food adventure mobile decal for your car to go with your other vegan why I love one animal but not the other. Interesting. I don't have anything like that on my car. I try to keep my privacy, I guess. I don't want people to know that guy's a vegan or that's happy healthy vegan. I don't want to dox myself in my car. Oh, you've been watching a lot of K-dramas lately, too. Yeah, K-dramas can be really cool. One that we're rewatching right now. So this is what we do. I don't know if we're weird, but like when we go to bed, we'll try to put on something chill. Nothing crazy. No guns and craziness. No ads. Just something to drift us off to sleep. And we're watching an older K-drama, like maybe from 5-6 years ago. Check out this one called Heavenly Idol. If you've never seen it, it's about it's about some like supernatural guys, and they one of them ended up in the body of a K-pop idol, like a failed K-pop band idol, and it's cool. Just check it. Heavenly Idol. It's one of our favorite ones. It's so funny. It's my favorite genre in all of like TV dramedy. You know, dramas that have comedy in them. Dramedies. But anyway, Okay, AJ, no, Ryan, real life true crime cases. Okay, awesome. Right, how do you watch that? Let's see. Dimitri, I'm aware of some of those, like Tame Impala. But no, I don't really. I've been listening to like for the past. Like, you guys know that I've been watching this live stream. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record. I've been listening to pretty much like a Korean music for the past like 3-4 years, like, you know, all sorts of Korean music, not just K-pop, but like K-indie, K-R&B. There's just so much awesome music coming out of Korea. Just a constant flow. I mean, before I discovered Korean music, maybe in a typical year, I'd hear maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 songs that really moved me. Now I'm hearing like great songs like every week or two, at least one a month, and usually a few times a year I'll find one like, wow, that song is just freaking incredible. So yeah, just a lot of Korean stuff from all levels, big bands, unknown bands, bedroom producers, there's a lot of something going on in Korea right now, and Angie and I have been tapping into that, both lyrically for her, Musically, for me, production-wise, I've been learning so much stuff from just listening to Korean stuff. I don't speak really any Korean. I know a few words, good words, not like cuss words or anything like that. In fact, I don't even know any bad swear words. But no, I don't speak Korean at all. So I don't know, Michael C. Hall is the vocalist and co-founder of the experimental rock band Princess Ghost. Never knew that. Wow, awesome. Good for him. Cool. Gen X's rock, man. Best generation. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, Carl, you have seen Heavenly Idol. I feel like something made back in the 80s. Yeah, there's something kind of comforting and kind of old school about that. But it's funny as hell. If you like to laugh, it's funny. The main character, Lembrary, he's funny as hell, man. I love that guy. He's a great actor, too. Nikki, stop watching horror when when vegan. That's what I'm saying. Is it right for I don't watch horror. I have to say, maybe you watched horror before. I don't really watch horror movies. But I do like Dexter, and I do like when autumn finally starts rolling around. I like seeing psychological thrillers, like the genres of say Rosemary's Baby or something like that, rather than like Evil Dead, or whatever, blood and guts. No, it's not my thing. Johnny, yeah, Angie and I would love to visit Korea sometime. We already know where we want to go, what cities and places we want to go. Because, we watch a lot of the Korean bands. They travel around different areas like Jeju Island. We're just watching one of my favorite bands, Eaton, in Busan, another nice town out there. But yeah, I definitely want to visit Seoul, maybe see some tapings of bands when they go on all the different shows like Mnet and all that stuff. Inkigayo. Oh, they just dropped a new episode of the K-drama you're watching. You're going to go. Good to see you, Graven. Speaking of K-drama, it's awesome. So, Agent, you're a big fan of all this. You watch true crime documentaries, read true crime books, and listen to true crime. I can't say it. I can't say true crime podcasts, especially on walks. Have you heard of one of our old vegan friends? I guess we were never. I don't think we ever met her. Have you heard of Let the Fresh Erin? And the last word is spelled E-R-I-N because that's her name, Erin, not like A-I-R. Have you seen her? She used to be like a sort of a low-key vegan content creator. And I kind of lost track of her for a while, but she resurfaced doing on YouTube a true, usually 30, 60-minute true crime exposing cults and criminals and stuff like that. You might want to check her out. Let the Fresh Erin. And she just started maybe a couple years ago, and I think she's getting a lot more views than we are now because that's a more interesting genre to people. But that's not why we're doing it here. We're not trying to be famous or anything like that. Yeah, let me know if you like it or not. Yeah, we watched a few of her episodes when she's getting started, and occasionally when something pops up, she's exposing a cult, because Angie and I love cults. Not because we're in a cult or want to join a cult or anything like that. We're just fascinated by cults. Have you guys ever heard of them? Oh, thank you, Chris Murphy. Way overdue vegan cultus. Good to see you all again. Thank you for supporting the vegan cult, the official cult of vegan right here. Thanks so much, Chris. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Any of you guys ever hear of this YouTuber called Reckless Ben? Ben. Let me know if you do, because I've been years ago I was watching he would infiltrate cults and expose them. He gets in a lot of trouble and stuff. But yeah, check out him if you like that kind of stuff. Yeah, we like cults. We like seeing the workings of cults. And the reason why we were so interested in Reckless Ben too, he's from Southern California, so he's going after the ones that hear Scientology, and this one that we encountered here. This is again at a Dead show at the Forum in 2007 or 8. They had this hippie bus and everything, and we didn't know it was a cult. They have these restaurants around Southern California. Anyway, he infiltrated that cult. 7 Tribes, I think that one is called. Hey, Chris, are you leaving too? All right, well, thanks for popping by, and thanks so much for the super chat tip. Much appreciated. Anyway, Yeah, we talk about all sorts of weird stuff here. I mean, it's not just all about vegan, but it's vegan-centric. Vegan is the core. But Dimitri, if you want to ask another question about music or so, feel free. It's all good, you know? Or philosophy. Take your pick. It's all cool. Let's say, hey, Mark, at AJ and Late Model, it must have blown your minds to see Twin Peaks back in the early 90s. Yeah, Angie was a huge fan of Twin Peaks. I was never really into it until Angie kind of got me into it. So yeah, we watched the whole series of Twin Peaks. Yeah, pretty cool. David Lynch was, really, really creative and fun back then. Let's see. Do I watch Cults to Consciousness? No. What is that, Hippie Easton? Tell me more. That sounds like something right up my alley. What is Cults to Consciousness? Is it a series? Is it what? Like, please share with me. That sounds potentially like something I'll be checking out. Yeah, AJ, you're absolutely right. What was refreshing about Twin Peaks, I wasn't into it. I was aware of it, but yeah, it was unlike anything else on network TV back then. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Allison, you said when you were in Paris, your taxi drove by the gigantic Scientology building. It was insane. Yeah, have you seen those documentaries about them? It's they own so much real estate, so much property. They're just like billionaires just from the property. They just could end the cult today and just have tons of cash. Log Lady, yes, Log Lady. I have a kind of a mixed thing with David Lynch. Some of the stuff I just don't like. It just seems like maybe too much, too self-indulgent, too surreal. And sometimes I think he finds a good balance. I think he did a nice job on Twin Peaks. My favorite movie of his was Mulholland Drive. I remember I saw that. I go, wow, he made an awesome movie. Let me know if you Twin Peaks fan, David Lynch fans were into that. We saw an opening night premiere. David Lynch was there of Inland Empire. I wanted to leave. It was like 3.5, 4 hours. Didn't make any sense whatsoever. It's like, no, bad David Lynch here. No, I thought Mulholland Drive was awesome. He did other good movies too, like Blue Velvet and stuff like that. But I thought Mulholland was my favorite, related to it the most. Dimitri, it's actually something I don't think too much about free will versus determinism. It actually, in philosophy, I know how much you've gone down that rabbit hole, because it is a rabbit hole. I mean, any person, anyone, anywhere can give their opinion on, do you think we have free will? Is everything determined? But it gets really complicated. There's a lot of stuff written on those on that debate, free will versus determinism. And I have to admit, intuitively, I believe we do have free will, but I know some really intelligent people who have studied the subject way more than I have are convinced that we don't have free will. Everything's deterministic because everything follows, like, say, the laws of physics, and we're all bound to that. We're all part of that. So I don't know. All I know is I can make decisions. I don't think. I honestly think the laws of physics are gonna affect me. Like when I'm gonna pick up my hands, I'm just picking stuff up at random here. I'm just doing that. I don't think any law of physics made me pick up this paper bag that I put on my microphone when it's not in use right now. So I actually think we have free will, but I think I'm oversimplifying it. I know it gets way deeper than that. Nikki, Blue Velvet was scary. I haven't seen it in a while. I remember, Isabella Rossellini was awesome in that. Holly, you were in your 20s. I think it was in my early 30s or maybe late 20s when Twin Peaks came out. You just knew it was going to be wild because Eraserhead was bizarre. I forgot about Eraserhead. Hey, Vegan Metalhead, you watch content on ADX Florence. In Florence, Colorado, inmates there are on permanent lockdown 23 hours a day in solitary. I want to see Cults to Consciousness here. Hippies just said it's a YouTube channel. I will love it. Huh. Tell me a little bit about it. Just like a quick synopsis of what their channel covers on that Cults to Consciousness. Huh, I never saw that one, Johnny. Clint Eastwood, Gran Torino, one that he directed, I assume. Or is it an older one that he acted? Because that one does not ring a bell. Yeah, AJ, that's what I heard Clearwater, Florida is. It's basically a Scientology-run town for the most part. Huh, I never heard of that one, Peter. David Lynch movie called The Straight Story. Uncle, now we're talking about, back to Dianetics or Scientology. Yeah, the Sea Org people, the people that joined the Sea Org signed a billion-year contract. Like, what a drama queen Ron Hubbard is, a billion-year contract. Why don't you make it a gazillion or something? You know, why just settle for a billion years? It's the Fulmar music, getting some quantum physics philosophy here. Wheeler, Planck, and Bohr all believed consciousness was fundamental, so space-time and energy are less. Thomas Campbell has a pretty good book on it. Sounds interesting? Let's see. Allison, I studied philosophy up until I couldn't get answers to my questions, and I realized I had to find answers myself. Kind of poetic. Yeah, philosophy is tough. You know, it depends what you're expecting it to provide, you know. It doesn't necessarily provide answers to everything in the world. But if you are good at applying logic, you know, in the sense that, you know, philosophy uses, you know, classical logic, you know, formal logic, syllogisms, the laws of logic, I think you can arrive at some pretty solid conclusions. If you're really tight with keeping, you know, a good argument together, good meaning true premises, valid structure, following the laws of logic, you know, you can do a lot with, like, you know, following like the 3 basic laws of logic, like the law of non-contradiction, the law of excluded middle, and what's the other one? I forgot the 3rd law of logic. Forgive me. Anyway, I'm saying just stick to the basics. I think you can do a lot with philosophy. You can arrive at some pretty big conclusions, I think. Let's see, what's that, Dimitri? Thank you for the responses, Ryan, everyone. Cask Ryan, why would you get into the philosophy? Why would I get into the philosophy into the first place? And may I ask, why not continue the PhD? Well, I got into philosophy because it's the first thing I really found in college that I loved. Before that, I was studying experimental psychology. It sounds crazy. It's just learning about, you know, the scientific method applied to psychology, like doing, like, you know, experiments related to, like, you know, psychology things. One of the experiments I made was like exposing subjects to different kinds of music and having them self-rate their perception, stuff like that. But anyway, once I discovered philosophy, or philosophy discovered me, I go, this is awesome. Fuck psychology. I'm going to learn philosophy. So I got it because I was passionate about it. I was like fully living, breathing philosophy for many years there. But I was also living, breathing, being really passionate about music right then. And it so happened, like, right a little bit before I graduated as an undergrad, I got signed to a record label, Project Records, and little Benosis, we kind of blew up on the indie level back then. Like, we're sounding decently well for an indie band, like over 10,000 CDs, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's pretty good. Anyway, yeah, we're doing well, and I went to when I went to grad school is when this all happened. We'd made the album right before I went off to grad school, and grad school is when things started blowing up. So after a year of grad school, I had to figure out, okay, do I want to continue on with my PhD? And I'm probably going to have to get a job at the University of the Ozarks or something like that and live out there for a long time. I go, no, this music opportunity is something that doesn't happen to most people. You know, I'm gonna follow this, and that's what I went for. You know, I kind of followed my bliss, and yeah, who knows what my life would have been like if I had become a professional philosopher or teaching in a university and publishing research and all that. Who knows? I probably wouldn't be here. I would have been on a whole different path in life. You know, so. No, that's why I left, because I had another opportunity that I wanted to pursue as well. And I figured, hell, I could always go back to the philosophy I wanted to, most likely. Let's see. Oh, Holly, you have a BA in philosophy as well, and you feel like having that degree simply equips one to use the appeal to authority fallacy more effectively. Well, it helps you identify fallacies, and helps. I think what helped, if anything, the best thing that came out of for me at least, through philosophy, what I got out of an education in philosophy was how it left my mind. It left it a more sharpened tool. And I'm so glad, because things are so crazy now with the internet and misinformation. Being able to have the skills to think critically and determine what's true, what are valid arguments, what's misinformation. There's no reason, there's no wonder why I make the kinds of videos that I make. I'm using a lot of the sorts of, like, I'm using the brain that philosophy education left me with after all those years. So yeah. Anyway, cool, Dimitri. I'm glad you got to come back anytime, man. You should join our crew here. See, we're a pretty chill bunch. Travis, though, has a degree in the streets. He has a lot of street cred. Nikki, philosophical critical reasoning should be a required class in high school. I agree. It's funny how people can get through life and never have any kind of education or training, even the slightest bit on, like, just some basic thinking skills and tools that I think are just totally indispensable for today's world. You might have not needed them 20 years ago, but I think now you need them more than ever. Not to say you'll suck, and if you don't, you'll fail in life without them. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it just makes it a little bit easier to deal with how everyone's making all these crazy claims about everything, and to be able to parse it all out and figure out what's bullshit and what's not. Johnny, you're going to get some tattoos. What kind of tattoos are you going to get? You're going to get tattoos of, like, a pinup, an animal, like a vegan tattoo, or anything. Let's see. Late model, do I have my master's degree? No, I only stayed 1 year. If I stayed a second year, I assume that would have been enough to leave with a master's degree. But I went for 1 year, and I took a leave of absence to go finish my second album as Love Spirals Downwards, the album Ardor. I released Idols right before I went to grad school. That's when it blew up, when I was starting grad school. And then, yeah, I'm going, screw it, I'm going to go make a second album. So anyway, I took a year off to make Ardor. And Ardor was doing well too, so it's like, I'm not going back, I'm just gonna keep doing music. And here I am, I'm still doing music, and I'm still doing philosophy to some degree too. I just made that video a few weeks ago about the undeniable argument for veganism. So I guess to answer your question, sir, I suppose, how does it work out? If I like applied to a master's program, I could probably maybe get my record sent from my grad school and transfer it over, and maybe only spend a year and walk out with a master's degree in philosophy. Maybe I'll do that when I'm older or something like that. Who knows? Right now I don't have the desire nor time for that, but life changes. Maybe things will be different in 5-10 years. Who knows? Maybe Trump will make all universities free. I doubt it. But anyway, somebody else will be president in 10 years. Huh? Hope not. Hopefully we get back to elections and stuff like that. Let's not talk about politics. That was my bad. AJ, coconut oil does not have cholesterol, but coconut oil has lots of saturated fat, and that's what raises serum cholesterol levels. I don't like giving medical advice, but I know this really well because I had a cardiologist, because we were trying to figure out why my LDL cholesterol levels were higher than they should be, given how I eat and take care of myself. But yeah, coconut oil. Just saturated fat in general. Yeah, coconut oil is one of the worst culprits when it comes to saturated fat. Coconut oil, coconut milk. A lot of the ingredients that they put in, like vegan sweets and snacks and vegan ice creams. So that's one reason why you don't see me eating a lot of that stuff. If I didn't have a natural propensity to have my body make LDL, I'd probably eat that stuff a little bit more. Wow, Johnny, you got your college paid for. Is that through because you're in the military? If so, that's an awesome advantage there, because education is so freaking expensive now, guys. It's insane. It's totally insane. Even to go to the community college, I was thinking about taking this one course I wanted to take on geology of California, just because I'm so interested. When I go hiking, I want to learn about the rocks and stuff. Just take the one course is going to be several $100. And once you include parking too, it's like, I'll just get a book. I'll learn on my own. I can self-teach myself that. But, there's just no substitute for having a real expert with you, someone who can share his or her knowledge and, in a personal way that you don't get out of a book. So anyway, it's expensive. Mark, you stay far away from coconut oil these days. I generally do too, unless, I'm checking out a vegan ice cream once in a while. That's why it's once in a while. Yeah, Allison, that's why sorbet is great. Most sorbets are vegan and there's no fatty oils in them. They're just sweety, fruity, so those are good as far as being heart healthy, LDL healthy. Let's see. So Apano says if I were to go back and try to finish my master's, they typically make you go through the program over. At least that's what the others' experiences have been. Others' experiences have been. Some already had their master's when they got into the program, but had to do it over. Oh, F it then. If I just go for a year and get it, but if I can't transfer my stuff over, screw it. I'll just read more philosophy on my own. I'm not like, why do I need a master's? I'm not going to go get a job in my 70s as a community college philosophy part-time guy or whatever. They probably don't want some old dude teaching philosophy. Johnny, you just need to get 100% disability from the VA at some point. What does that mean? You want to get injured on the job or something? Let me know what you're saying there. Yeah, Zoe, there's tons of people out there making tons of money spouting complete nonsense with no education. I know, you don't need that anymore. But I don't want to be one of those people, like a shirtless influencer, in the jungle just spouting a bunch of crap. That's not me. Wow, Nikki, you got up to 5 years free tuition for your undergrad, which was awesome. What did you do? Did you serve in the military too? You don't have to share, but I'm just kind of curious. How'd you get 5 years of free tuition? Was it in another country? Yeah, banana ice cream is definitely healthy for you. What is this life? You've been working in a warehouse that deals with exotic meats for 5 years, and in the past 8 months while still working there became vegan. In your situation, you should feel bad for working there. And I know a lot of people will say, well, you can't be vegan and work there. Well, the thing is, you didn't choose to work there while you were vegan. You were working there as a non-vegan and you became vegan. So yeah, I mean, ideally, hopefully you can switch to another job at some point. But some asshole vegans will say, well, you got to quit. Like, no, then you might become homeless, and being vegan doesn't require you to live out in the streets for a belief. You still have to, it's practical. That's what the practicable impossible means. It doesn't mean that you have to become homeless or something like that. So yeah, keep your eyes open, I'm sure. Let's see. Just got a message there from my friend who's trying to meet up with me tomorrow night. A friend has an art exhibit locally, so going to meet up afterwards, I think. Anyway, what was I saying? I think I made my point there. Hippie East, you got 2 free years on a volleyball scholarship. Awesome. Let's see, what do you do, late model? You blend a little shredded coconut with soy milk and make a less saturated coconut milk for your soups. Interesting. Yeah, I know what you mean. It sounds kind of like what Thai food has, right? Some of their soups are kind of like that. Okay, Nikki, no, you got a minority academic excellence scholarship. Okay. Johnny, they just tightened the hair regulation and facial hair regulation in the Army now. So what happens? You'll get in trouble if your hair gets too out of hand. Apana, most people don't know this, but you're in PhD programs, at least at the UCs. You're not, but in the UCs, they pay you to be in the program, tuition all, and give you a job as a TA. Yeah, that's what was going on. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, because when I was at grad level at a University of California, and they didn't let they let like maybe 10 of us in that year in the grad program, and no one I think had a TA position right away. But as classes went on, time went on, they started handing TA positions out, which they weren't paying the tuition. The TA was a decent chunk of money, though. It helped pay for your expenses. Didn't give you free tuition from what I remember, unless things have changed. But yeah, they didn't offer one of those to me. And plus, I was already on the way out anyway. So, but yeah, that is I think that's true in a lot of cases for graduate students. You're doing some work there too that you're getting some kind of payment for, like being a teacher's assistant. Allison, yeah, in order to be a true vegan, you got to be homeless, because that's the only way you can commit no harm. And even then, you'll commit some harm too, because you got to eat something, right? And if you're homeless, you can't be choosy. If people are donating food to you, you can't say, "Hey, it's I just eat veggies, man." That's not a good situation, not practical, not practicable. So even if you want a master's degree, you can master out. Yeah, I didn't have that opportunity. I didn't stay long enough to master's out. But that's what master's degrees are in the University of California, like what I was at for grad school. To get a master's in a PhD program means you mastered out. Like, you didn't want to continue on the PhD path. It wasn't like you were there for a master's. They don't accept people in for a master's in like those kinds of programs. It's a PhD, but you can master your way out if you want, which is cool. If you don't want to stay the whole 5 years or whatever it takes. Well, that's cool. I didn't know that Hippie students who were in university during COVID got everything free. Interesting. That's cool, Johnny. They made the hair standards harder in the military, but you like the fitness standards because, yeah, you're working out as much as anyone does. What's that, AJ? You need to cut your coconut milk with other plant milk in your curries. You never thought to do that. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, that was Sarah's idea, right? Wow. Awesome. Late Molly, your friend studied philosophy at UCLA. Good for your friend there. Now his daughter is studying it at Cal. Good for the daughter, too. Wow. Yeah, I actually really have no regrets of leaving, I mean, I love philosophy, but I've been into making music. I was making music before I had my passion for philosophy. It's just like a lifelong thing. So it makes more sense to me to follow the path that I've been on even longer and have more passion for. And it's not like philosophy is a super lucrative career. You're a professor, and professors, it's a well-known secret. You don't make much money until you become tenured. Typically, it's like a kind of a low-paying job when you're like a adjunct or, professor. What do they call it? Associate professor? It's like when you're faculty. That's when it's really like yeah, I got a career now. This is a cool job. So. Yeah, I have no regrets as far as that. I probably would have been in the same kind of financial boat that I'm in now, so it's all good. I guess if I really wanted to go for the big bucks, philosophy is one of the best things you can study to go to law school. And I was considering it at one point in the mid-90s, mid-Love Spirals Downwards career. I said, for the F of it, my friend Dave's studying to be a lawyer. I'm going to take the LSAT too and see if I can get a nice score. And it was good, but it was not as high as his. His was like in the 170s or something like that. I forgot what mine was. I think it was only in the 150s or something like that. I'm not going to go for it. I'm not going to try to go to law school. Anyway, I'm not sure what's for dinner tonight, AJ. I just threw some spaghetti together really quick before the live stream so we'd have something to eat. I don't know. Mark, that's cool. You really enjoyed the philosophy classes you took in undergrad. Awesome. I'm glad you had a good philosophy teacher or teachers that made it interesting because, when you get down, it's some really interesting stuff, you know? It is. But some teachers have a way of making it seem really not that appealing. So cool. I'm glad that was good for you. Oh, you're still here, Dimitri. Would I consider a non-veganism community based on indie, music, philosophy, anything else I enjoy? I'll support both. Well, follow our band, Love Spirals Official. We just premiered a music podcast the other day for our band. We have a little community going on there. A lot of it's you guys though too, but yeah, not everything I do is within this vegan walled garden or anything like that. But let's see. But yeah. Let's see. Holly, you took the LSAT for fun. It was long. It's a crazy test. I guess I was not as good as puzzles as I could have been, you know. So anyway, no big deal. You know, I'm kind of glad I didn't go because it's not really a pass. It's just a score. It's a number, like an SAT or that kind of test. You know, the higher up, the better percentile you and the more attractive you are. Apano says, pay is generally fine at the lecturer level, though it's not stable. The tenure track jobs are the assistant, associate, and professor jobs. I think they pay well in some places. Okay, you know more about this, Apano, than I do. It's been a long time. Let's see, Uncle. Ryan asks if I've ever been to the Rancho Los Alamitos Historic Museum in Long Beach on Bixby. Yeah, we have two... what are those called? Ranchos, I guess, right? In Long Beach. I get mixed which one's which, but yeah, I've been to them both. Bixby at the end of Palo Verde Avenue. Yeah, I've been wondering. I was thinking about going this summer because Angie and I haven't been there in like maybe 15 years or something like that. I remember it being really pretty, really nice, and it's free too. So yeah, thanks for reminding me about that, Uncle. Her and I should go there one day. Holly, you passed. Your score was good, unlike mine, which was like all right. It wasn't bad, but not good. So you probably beat me on that one. They do have horses there. I kind of forgot about that. It's been a long time, like I said. But that's not the main part of it or anything like that. You know, it's the main rancho house. But it was a working farm or whatever back in the 1800s. That's awesome, late model. You never took the SATs. Awesome. You went to a small private liberal arts college that gladly took your cash. Is it? You don't have to dox yourself. Is it that one? Is it the girls? Is it the girls one in the East Bay? If it is, I knew a person or two that went to that one. Apano, so you are a lecturer. Job market, not so good now, but glad you have what you have. Awesome. Hippie Easter, I was told your son he could be anything until he said philosophy. You were worried, but he is now full faculty and that was his dream. Awesome. Good. I'm glad he followed his bliss and it's all worked out. Let's see, Peter. I don't know, the vertical live stream thing kind of bugged me. I had to keep looking over back and forth between the two screens to see if anyone was on TikTok. And to be honest, very few people were watching on TikTok, so... I don't know. And I did some vertical only. I think I did one here on YouTube, a vertical only live stream just for you guys for YouTube. And you guys didn't seem to like it. So I don't think I'm going to do it. Okay. You didn't go to that one I was thinking of. What's that one that I'm thinking of in the East Bay? Is it Mills or something like that? But you went to one in Marin. Okay. I don't think you doxed yourself there. Yeah, a lot of people don't like vertical, so I'm just going to leave it at this. Who am I? I'm not trying to track TikTok people. You know, I'm some old philosopher, vegan dude here, you know. Let's see. Holly, can everybody say which city they're in and what's the best vegan restaurant? You guys know I'm in Long Beach, and our best one is Mangia Foglio or something like that. I never studied Italian. I probably totally butchered it, but it's a vegan Italian place and it's totally awesome. Great owners, great food, great wine pairings, great atmosphere. It's my favorite vegan restaurant right now for sure. And I'm so lucky. It's like you're gonna walk there if you want. You know, you don't have to get in the car or get on a freeway. Okay, I was right. Mills is in the East Bay. Okay, for some odd reason, when you described that, Mills, your school, Mills came to mind, but yours was in Marin. Let's see. Vertically challenged, talking about the vertical live streams. I'm kind of vertically challenged right now. I haven't been working on my vertical jump at all when I'm on the basketball court. I've been working on other things, but I just kind of like not into like that right now. It's a lot of work, and I found other things I'm working on, like different, like more working on basketball skills rather than like trying to jump high. Let's see. Holly's in Sacramento, and the best vegan restaurant is Vegan Deadly Sins. What an awesome name. A fantastic Chinese place. Houston. No fully vegan, but many vegan friendly. Awesome. Let's see. Peter says, if I come to Canada, I would love to go to Green Cuisine. You're in Victoria because it's really like old school vegan. They don't have any fake meats. Cool. I like those, what I call the hippie vegan restaurants. And I say that in an affectionate way. I like the hippie vegan food. Just simple plants, simple food for a simple taste. My favorite quote from Easy Rider. The best in Omaha is Rooted Table. And AJ's definitely vertically challenged at 4'11". Wow. Hey, Redlocks, good to see you. Johnny, literally vertically challenged at 5'6". Hey, you tower over Joe Rogan, so feel good about that. And I said you're an excellent height to be a professional, not say you'd want it, but a professional surfer or a professional skateboarder. Awesome height there. 5'6" is like perfect for a man, for male. Uncle, Hermosa, California. Is the Green Cafe still open? I thought I read it was closing or something. Maybe I got it confused with something else. Please tell me, Uncle. Check right now. Go to their website. See if the Green Cafe is still open. I thought it was closing down. So Blood Rose in South Wales, we have the Queen Inn. It was one of the first vegan restaurants in Wales and the best. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know. South Wales. Are we talking about like Australia, like New South Wales? Or are we talking about like Wales in England? Let's see. Late Model in Bend, Oregon. So many restos here. Your fave is a Broken Angel, but toast, lively up yourself, fix and repeat. Salute are great too. Your grandpa was 5'6" and you got 4'11"? Oh man, the genetic gods were mean to you. But nothing wrong being 4'11". That 4'11", that's a totally fine height. Oh, Dimitri, you're Canadian. Canadian cities have some great vegan food. Niagara area. Yeah, good things come in small packages for sure there. Lay Model. Speaking of AJ there. Dimitri, when do I recommend activism protests? I mean, this is a form of activism right now. Not all activism is on the streets or anything like that. I mean, that's one valid form. I'm of the opinion there are many valid forms of activism / protest. Not all forms of activism involve protest. I say do whatever rings true with you. If you feel comfy being out in the streets protesting or being an activist on the street, you don't have to protest. You could be an activist and not doing protests. You could be doing like with Joey Carbstrong, Earthing Ed out in the street, just talking to people, Socratic method, asking them questions. Whatever you feel good about doing, whatever plays to your skill set, if you like talking to people, if you like being philosophical, or maybe you don't like any of that stuff. You hate talking to people, you're completely INFP, you just want to hide from the world. But you still want to do something. There's other things you can do. You can post food to your social media and Instagram, stuff like that. Whatever, whatever you want to do. There's nothing you're obligated to do as a vegan as far as activism or protest. You should just do what you feel comfortable doing. That's my opinion, at least. Okay, Blood Rose, we're talking about Britain's Wales. Good to know, because I would like to go to Wales sometime. I have some ancestry that comes from Britain and Wales, so I would like to see my homeland. Plus, I really want to see that place where they filmed The Prisoner back in the 60s. They just took over this whole cute little old town, and it still exists as pretty much as it looked in the show, so I want to go check it out. Late Model, you were 5'11" in 7th grade? Wow, that's crazy tall for 7th grade. I don't know if I was 5'11" in 7th grade. I'm 6'5" now. That's 6'4.5". Let's see, Mark says Omaha had a vegan restaurant called Modern Love that closed, but they're opening under a new name. So excited. Awesome. Dimitri, oh, just mean any vegan communities to join. Hey, this is my vegan community right here. So if there's other, I'm saying there's others out there. I just don't know how to direct you to them. But if you're in different parts of the world, there's different people that have different things going on that you can go to, in real life. This is what I'm doing right now. We used to have meetups in parks like in 2015, 16, stuff like that, 17. Now we're just doing this, hanging out every Friday night so people from all over the world can join in and we can talk about all the fun, wild stuff that we talk about here together. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you can stay awake right now, be awake right now, you're here. Oh no, Uncle, I'm right. The Grain Cafe did close in Hermosa, but it says the Long Beach location, there's a Grain. Oh, I didn't make the connection. They're the same owners? Wow, the menus are totally different. I like the one in Hermosa way better. It was more hippie food. I like the vibe of that hippie restaurant. It looked like it's been the same since 1970 or something like that. That sucks that one's gone. I don't get out to that area too often, but I was going to that Grain Cafe. Veggie Grill. It kind of is what it is. It's a chain restaurant. There's nothing really special about Veggie Grill. It's not bad or anything like that, but it's not awesome. But I tell you, I was just there. We were just there yesterday because it was National Cheeseburger Day. They're doing buy one, get one free. And I'm not going to turn down free food, right? Free vegan food. That's my middle name, BOGO. Yeah, Dimitri, come back anytime, man. I'm getting sleepy too. I just had just crap sleep for this week. Just so many weird. I think though I don't sleep good when the weather's particularly warm and humid either. Even with the air conditioning, I can still feel it. It's not the weather's not right. I'm so looking forward to autumn. God, is that tomorrow or the next day? We're the autumn equinox. I'm so ready for fall. Peter's bragging about how it's cooler there. So waiting for it to cool down. Time has been flying. I might end this a little early just because I'm so kind of I tell you, I'm super tired from getting that Amber Alert yesterday morning. Okay, it's September 21st. It usually falls on the 21st. Sometimes it's on the 20th. But okay, it's the 21st. So we're just 2 days, basically, one full day away from autumn. It's not like the weather magically flips a switch then it becomes cool. But yeah, you're ready for it too, Hottie. I am too. I've never been one to be a big fan of summer, to be honest with you. Just hot and everyone's on vacation, it seems, and crowded everywhere. I like fall. People are back in school and stuff, and weather is better, and maybe we'll go out somewhere like to that rancho Uncle brought up here, But anyway, you're going good night too, Johnny. I should probably go too. Seriously, I feel so thrashed from my not getting good sleep for the past few days. So, I should just probably take it chill, keep it chill, or else I might feel I'm cool right now, but I could feel like there might be some energy consequences, next week. Happy Veggie, yeah, I went there a year ago. I haven't been there for a long time, Uncle. Happy Veggie on Redondo on PCH, yeah, 100% vegan and Vietnamese. When I went back, I didn't think the food was all that great. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't worth us driving 40 minutes to get to, basically. So it was great seeing you guys all this wonderful Friday night here. Thanks so much, Chris and Jordan and Hippie Easta and AJ. Thank you so much for your generous super chat tips for helping us keep our vegan activism here, our live streams and our community, and all the videos that Angie and I spend so much time on, and YouTube doesn't compensate us nearly enough for. So thank you for helping us out with that. So I'll see what my video is going to be for next week. I should be making one. Peter said he sent me not very short. I just might cut it about 5 minutes short. I've already been on an hour 53. What was I going to say? I know, Peter, you said you sent me a Why I'm No Longer Vegan video, so I'll check that out. But I already put some research into why people hate vegans, like what's going on, based on, studies and, why people have this thing against us why so many people do. Not everyone does, but, it's a thing. As evidenced by all the response videos I make, people just can't shut up about how they hate vegans and veganism. But anyway, I want to get to the root of it and figure out why I'm doing this. What's up? I think there's a money component too. I think there's payola going on to have people like promote meat products, which isn't going on. Big Broccoli's not funding anyone as far as I'm aware, but I'm open. Big Broccoli, contact our manager, fax us a contract, and we'll be the paid spokespeople of Broccoli. But anyway, all seriousness, guys. So I think it'd be an interesting video for me to research and for you guys to learn from. And yeah, we'll see where that goes. So thanks, guys. Thanks for being with me here on Friday. Great to see some new people tonight. And come back if you're still here. We love having y'all. And you guys have been wonderful as always. And I don't think I have any new things to share with you right now. But if you didn't see the Chillin' with Love Spirals podcast, I should have put a link to it right now. I should have been prepared for that. Thanks for those of you guys that stayed with us the other day and watched that. But we have a new podcast. All the new music that's out right now. Our new song from a couple weeks ago now. A remix I just put out for an English label for an Australian band. And a new pressing of the flats, back with my glasses are on it, for the Flux vinyl, multicolored recycled plastic eco version of Flux. All right, guys. So with all that, I will bid you adieu. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. And remember, it doesn't suck